a Canadian radio sanctuary podcast.
KOC, and this is John Oliver, and with me now, the Sweets from England. And how long have you guys been together, Nick?
5 years, successfully. Before that, Steve Ryman and myself. We formed the band around about 67, 68. So, didn't have much success until Andy joined. We had a few records out, but success started about the end of 70, beginning of 71.
Now, your first hit in North America, Little Willie, is quite different from what you're doing now. When did the actual transition take place, and what was it?
Yeah, it was original. I mean, Coco and Papa Joe came in early 71. Little Willie was recorded in 72. But it was released in 73. In fact, it was a hit in 73 in America. Now, we've moved on since then, and we were closer to becoming a self-sufficient group, writing our own material and producing ourselves. So that's why we didn't come to America on the strength of that record. Because it would have been wrong. I mean, we would have probably scored, but in the short term, it would have branded us for life with that particular record. Toto at that time was it was very good. It would have stood up. But so we just didn't feel it was right to promote that record. And, that was Bell Records at that time. Little Willie got to number 3, and they wanted to release Coco and Papa Joe, all the earlier stuff. And they just couldn't see that the future was in our own material. And we just parted company. It took us about 18 months, 2 years to find capital we're with now. And during that time, the transition, it was a bit shaky with Tim Chapman for that period anyway. And we just found the right record company to believe in us. So it's interesting that the first product they got out, Born Blitz, was taken as a rock and roll record. And I know Steve wanted to change his partner, didn't he? We felt it was a bit wrong, but we didn't. It's a bit of a step, I suppose, really. Destination Boulevard was a compilation of 2 albums out in Europe, 3 funny albums, which was the beginning of 74, and Destination Boulevard, which is around August. Covers out all the material, and we compiled 1 album out of the 2. And Give Us a Ring, in fact, was recorded last June in Munich. I wouldn't say it was staged, we haven't performed the material on stage, but we wrote and recorded it in June, and it's a bit frustrating, really, but we'll be performing it for the first time in Europe.
What about the audiences in North America as opposed to Europe?
It's varying from place to place. Sometimes they sit back with a rather shocked look on their face because they're not really getting what they expected. They're getting a bit more, because really the audiences over here don't really know what we're all about yet, because they've only had 2 singles, which you can't judge a group by anyway, and an album which not everybody's bought. So, a lot of them are coming along out of curiosity. Well, they're getting something they don't really know anything about.
Finally, the first time we toured Germany and Steve, where we were in a position where we had teeny hits, and the transition had taken place, and the older people had listened to the B-sides and the album tracks. They'd gone along to the concert just to see what we were all about, which I'm sure the acts saw how we played on the stand, and that's how we gained our audience there, and it's reminded me of America, has reminded me of that. They're sitting down, they're not really expecting, and there's a few stops and starts in the show, which is a bit confusing for them, because audiences love cue points for applause. But once they're familiar with the acts, then I'm sure that next time, they're very good, it's very good.
Your new album, including the single Action, Give Us a Wink, how does it differ from Desolation Boulevard?
Boulevard was, like Star One wasn't produced by us, it was produced by Phil Wayman. Good production, but as we worked in one studio for about 2.5 years, with Phil and Nicky and Mike, we fell into a very, very professional recording technique, but we lost some of the balls that we had, from compressing and limiting things and screwing up sounds to guitar sounds to certain frequencies. It's very good. You can hear everything. They're very clean cut productions. That was very clean cut. Then we went into the studio on our own. We did Fox in a completely alien studio. That had a lot more energy. You know, the new album, we went over to Munich, found that it was, you know, an excellent studio. And like the Stones had worked there, Purple had worked there. And we found, we got on very well with the studio. It was one of the truest reproductions, you know, that I've heard, I think. You take your tapes out of the studio and you play them, and you've lost nothing. There's no colorisation or anything. It's just true, very true stuff, and very ballsy as well. And the album's got a hell of a lot more energy. As much energy as the band puts into the songs. For instance, Blitz, you know, the original takes of Blitz, before they were mixed down, you know, so much balls and energy.
What about your new single, Action?
Action was the first time we actually set, because Fox was taken from the original Desolation Boulevard in England, and we just re-recorded the whole thing, because we thought, well, there's a commercial track. We put together a very commercial record. Action was the first time we consciously sat down and said, right, this is the Sweet, and we are going to write, this is the sort of thing that we want to be represented by. It was the very first time that we've done that. And lyrically, it's so pretty good. We just got to the point. It's not as big a record in terms of repertoire as Fox. It's an amazing record, Fox, really. Because we worked just put it together, really, didn't we, Steve? And it's like doing one of our biggest songs yet. It's nice now to be able to write and produce something, especially like with this new album, and find that everyone's accepting it. And, you know, you just feel a sense of pride.